Hey guys, what's going on? Grab a pen and jot this down. Today we're going to quickly talk about the multimodal capabilities of Gemini. I think this is one of the most underestimated tools, AI models across the entire ecosystem. Now, I've spoken a little bit about Gemini 3.5, particularly in the Flash ecosystem. I spoke about Gemini Spark, how I use this product. The area where I'm going to talk about now in the Gemini ecosystem is specifically related to all their video generation capabilities. Now, this is the type of video that I would love to have, a beautiful graphic, but I'm just going to go and freestyle it like I do for most of my videos. Now, if you're using any AI tools, which most people are doing, particularly if you're even in blue collar, but white collar, I've seen most desktops have ChatGPT or Claude. Great tools, very good products. ChatGPT obviously has the first mover advantage. Beautiful design, it works. People love it on Mac OS particularly. Claude, obviously this Anthropic's Claude, both Claude Code, Claude Cowork, and all the other tools they're attempting to design and all, etc. Great products. The beauty of Claude Code, obviously, is because they have the best models when it comes to developing software. So naturally, all the developers in this space continuously keep going back to Claude because it is cost effective, it's very productive, it's very efficient, and has this capability well beyond my understanding in terms of technical details. It continues to benchmark the highest. Now, that doesn't even include Fable 5. The terminal usage is beautiful. ChatGPT has done a fantastic job to provide a competitor product called Codex. That the interesting side note here is that every developer I've spoken to that is using Claude Code or has used it since the December time period where agentic workflows have become real mainstream for everybody, is if something goes wrong with Claude Code, which has happened in the past month and a half, is they have so much demand, they're compute constrained, so they cannot service all the demand. So they either go offline, they throttle usage, they change the models behind the scenes. Users can tell. Because the users can tell, they go switch models immediately. Now, if you talk to a developer that's very sophisticated, has an API, has multiple workflows, terminal, the whole desktop setup, they will immediately switch from Claude Code's terminal to Codex and start using it to continue building programs. Because it's very simple. If you have one code base, you can quickly on the front end just change the chat interface and use a different model. Everybody does it. What they tell me on the side is that when they have to do something really big, really like consume a lot of documents, PDFs, etc., they end up using Gemini Flash. That's generally the model they switch to because it's extremely cheap. It does very good job with multimodal. So the other models, Codex and Claude Code, are really good at programming. But programming is very specific in the software domain. Most people do not know how to write code, build applications, or even read anything in the software ecosystem. So they have zero understanding or use cases for the full stack when it comes to software applications. Even myself, who's consistently building software with these tools, I don't have a need for the best models at all times because they're more expensive. They have a higher learning curve. So I have to use the one that's most effective both in my time and my use case, which is why I live in the Gemini ecosystem, because I'm betting on the multimodal system. I'm betting that Gemini will dominate both the horizontal stack and the vertical stack. Now, I've talked about the vertical stack in the Gemini 3.5 Pro video last week, which I think is coming out today. But the Gemini 3.5 Flash has proven that they can actually deliver and execute on multi-agent workflows very effectively. That's very important, number one. Number two, they've already integrated the system, Gemini, into all of their major products. So Search, AI Mode, YouTube, Google Cloud, Google Workspace, multiple other applications, so Pixel, Android, Chrome, etc., all across the ecosystem. So people might say, I don't know anybody that uses Gemini, and on the flip side, I think everybody uses Gemini, they just don't realize it because it's so well embedded into all of the Google's daily products. For most of 2025, I probably didn't use a spreadsheet, and then I converted to Google Sheets because I was waiting for the Gemini integration, and Gemini's integration in the last 3 months in Google Workspace has done a terrific job of being able to decipher what's happening in a cell, how to add and subtract things from cells, move things, add things, create tables. It has reduced the need for me to do it physically. So I use a lot of voice, which I love with Gemini Live in Chrome or other features or on mobile. And those small little tidbit, those, like, I would call them paper cuts or really big gaps in the other models where they don't have the ability to do voice well. They don't have the ability to consume tremendous amount of documents and PDFs, which I do a lot. And they're like trying to create an add-on for Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets. It's if you just bet on Gemini, it can just integrate it straight into the workspace ecosystem. Now I'm using Gemini Enterprise, where everybody in my team has access to a single chat base, conversation history, database, and a whole variety of things in basically one conversational chat, which you would have to build probably from scratch with the other ecosystems or have a sophisticated IT team or software developer to help you figure out how to integrate and connect all these systems. Gemini is attempting to do this with Gemini Enterprise for work, small and mid-sized businesses that basically run on the cloud. So I've done all that. I've used it in Google Workspace. Very impressive. The number one tool I recommend to everybody that's interested in Gemini products is NotebookLM. Now, NotebookLM has these beautiful features. Particularly, the mobile app is exquisite. It doesn't look anything like the other Gemini apps, web app, mobile app. The NotebookLM app on web and mobile is beautifully designed. It now can create slide decks. It can create video presentations. It can create podcasts. It can create now short form, actual shorts. These mind maps, if you want to like read like a large book, or you have multiple hundred sources of either video, websites, you want to learn a topic like military, history, maybe psychology, put all these books together and they start mapping all these core ideas so you can figure out what's related where and how. And then you have a closed source chatbot history that you could just go back and forth and learn things literally like a notebook. So it's really designed for academics and researchers. But if you use it on a day-to-day, you might be able to create your own type of content. So I can create slideshow presentations. I can create videos, which are beautiful. I was creating podcasts very early where it's conversational, where I can interject in two different AIs or talking about a specific topic, and I can interject and ask questions. And it's using the information that I gave it to figure out how to answer questions. And it does it very well. It creates like 15 to 20 minute long videos and interviews. And now the shorts are a great feature. I just posted one up. You'll see it on my x.com. Is that I can now just, because Gemini has access to the YouTube inventory and the full library, they have a good understanding of how to create great videos. Not only long form, but short form now. So now I'm consuming data on demand based on, I do this and I want to learn this topic, but I only have 60 seconds to learn about it. SpaceX IPO prospectus, I put it together. It created, it took 15 minutes to create a 60-second clip. It does it in the cloud, so I don't need to do it. I can go click it, go to lunch, come back, watch a 60-second clip, and I got a good understanding of what's happening with the prospectus. It has a beautiful visual. It has a great audio. It's very easy to watch, very easy to consume. And it's just well designed. It's a beautiful feature. And I do not think the other model is going to have this multimodal capability. The release of this product coincides with Nano Banana 2 Lite, which just released, and which is their image generator, and Gemini Omni Flash, which is their video generator. And those are two models, again, that they are continuously betting bigger on, and that move into video and image, and then now audio, and then voice. Those are elements that the other AI models simply do not have the capacity to bet on. They just the other businesses are constrained. Now, I use Grok Voice a lot because they really did a good job of figuring out how to build characters, which I think they're going to bet on video games, which is just another element of video generation, but it's very hard to build video games. But video generation itself is very expensive. It has tremendous compute requirements. Obviously, take anything text and then just multiply by 3 because you have to make it 3-dimensional. And then you have to have it consistency. It has beautiful memory and has all this other stuff that's going on behind the scenes. So, it looks realistic. it's really difficult just to pull off. And I think it's just super expensive. And I don't even know how much NotebookLM costs. I have whatever the Ultra version, so it includes all like how many notebooks you can create and unlimited resources, but it really is like pennies per chat. And it's extremely effective if you're betting on the multimodal system. Now, I consume a lot of stuff in multimodal. So I'm naturally like, I would love to watch it in a video. I would love to see it in a chat interface. I would love to see it in a visual design and in a presentation, and maybe as a podcast when I'm listening to something on 10, 15 minutes, I'm consuming my information versus someone else's information, or I'm creating some information and publishing it. And I just think these type of product applications are underestimated. They're underrated, and it will be so well intertwined like in the ecosystem that people will not realize that they're using Gemini. Number one. Number two, they're using AI and the latest model. So obviously everybody's using Gemini 3.5 Flash, and whenever they release 3.5 Pro, you'll just see a significant upgrade. And I haven't even talked about the things that are going behind the scenes for the enterprise and the workspace behind the scenes for Google Cloud. But the consumer interface is just state of the art. So I recommend checking out the new models, NotebookLM's new upgrades, Nano Banana 2, which I love using for creating memes and other images, and then now Omni Flash, which is just beautiful. And I haven't had enough examples of where I could do it because I'm not that good at video because I don't practice it enough. But I do think people that are creators in the space will find the best use cases in the Google ecosystem when it comes to all the Search Lab products that they're testing. And Omni Flash is definitely one of the state of the art ones that the other AI models simply do not have access to and do not have the bandwidth to deliver on a product like that.